edition of Sevens Big League. We'll look at the footy bet dividends.
Impressive power, luxury and economy. In association with NEC, Australia's future in home entertainment. And Westpac, Australia's most competitive bank. Westpac, the bank.
And a very good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sevens Big League for round 5. Tonight, Melbourne and North Melbourne for the MCG, the game from Moorabbin between St Kilda and Geelong, and the clash out at the Western Oval between Hawthorn and Footscray. First day to the cricket ground, and both Melbourne and North Melbourne have certainly had their problems in the early part of the season, although the Kangaroos at last turned the corner in the previous round with a meritorious win over the previously unbeaten Cats at Cardinia Park. Going into the match, the Demons were strengthened by the return of Peter Giles and Alan Johnson, but even at the MCG, faced a daunting task against the Roos, who've won the last 15 games against Melbourne, the Demons' last tasting success back in 1976. Today's match, of course, was originally set down to be played at North's home ground of Arden Street, where at best a crowd of some 12,000 would have seen the game. In the comfort of the MCG, nearly 30,000 fans turned out for the clash, which we pick up at the 5-minute mark into the third quarter. Our commentators are Sandy Roberts and Bob Skilton.
9-4. Vital kicks, and you should kick them. Danny Hughes now puts the ball back, looks for Peter Moore. McCann in the way. McCann playing the ball forward, cannot trap it before the boundary line, so we'll find a throwing to take place. It'll be on the half-forward line for North Melbourne, with North Melbourne 11 points down, almost 5 minutes into the third term. Moore from behind, gets the tap, bounces high. Dean Dugdale taps it back. It's picked up by Healy of Melbourne from the half-back line. Healy puts it along across to Withers. Withers trapped it beautifully after being under real pressure. The loose ball picked up by Connolly, across now to Johnson. Johnson having time to swoop around. Good piece of shepherding. Johnson's a poor kick though. Moore, Tossell gets the hand pass to Thorne. Good play by Smith as he smothered the hand pass in, kicked the ball off the ground. Dwyer coming on the scene, fumble, but then has time to recover. Hooks the ball back, looking for Jim Cracker. Cracker told that he's completely clear. Cracker gives the hand pass on now to Atkins. He's got a street ahead of him. Having time now, he puts the ball long. Lyle in position to take the mark. Lyle judged that ball beautifully, got around his opponent in Danny Hughes, and Mark Lyle has kicked 3 goals. 2 from this position, it should be 4.
6-11 plays 9-4. Every kick important. Stammers in his approach, but goals. 7-11 to 9-4. The Northerners coming back on Sevens Big League. 5 points the margin.
On replay, we watch as Jimmy Cracker gives it out to Atkins, starting to come into the play now. Atkins drives the ball long. Lyle judging that ball to perfection. Eyes straight on the ball, arms out in front. No chance of Danny Hughes being able to punch the ball away. There's the board. 53 to 58. 5 points to margin in favour of Melbourne, who held a 12-point lead at half-time.
6.5 minutes played. The vital third term. And as Bob said, 5 points the margin favouring the Demons. As we go back for the centre bounce, McCann lets Moore do the work, but Cracker will attempt to take it to Schimmelbusch. He's caught. Poor old Schimmer isn't having the greatest of days. Atkins, however, is having a great return to the blue and white. Up towards Hodgman. Past him, in fact. Now he's got to get round Alan Jarrett. Hodgman's probably speedier, but has he the cunning and guile? No. Alan Jarrett sees him successfully over the line.
Throw in the half-forward flank for North Melbourne. Fury's there, but punched away by Peter Moore. A big long punch. Jimmy Cracker's there for North Melbourne. Swings it back onto the left foot. Goes for the short pass. North Melbourne player in Atkins slips, punts it on. Got it to Hodgman. Hodgman puts the ball up. Can Lyle get to it? He cannot. We find O'Sullivan there. Lyle comes out, gets a push in the back. Yes, that's the way the umpire sees it. And so So the big fellow Mark Lyle, who has 4 goals, 2 to his credit so far, has the chance of putting North Melbourne in front once again.
He's a basketballer, Bob, is he not, in the background?
Yes, Sandy has been playing basketball for most of his life, I understand, as he goes towards goal. And now North Melbourne in front. Lyle bringing up his 5th goal, so he would certainly be pleased with his performance so far, and the North Melbourne fans and committee as we watch on replay. Looking for Mark Lyle. O'Sullivan couldn't take the mark. The bounce favours Lyle, and the tackle, well, you cannot push the man to the ground, and that's the way it was played.
1 point the margin. Stephen Smith for Melbourne receiving treatment on the bench. Centre bounce. Close game of football here at the MCG. Cracker, well, he got his kick away. The Northerners have come out most determined in this term. Phil Kelly perhaps exaggerating that, giving away the free kick to Peter Giles. Giles sees Thorn across the centre, goes for it and should be given the mark too. 2 grabs ahead of Dean Dugdale. Thorn looking for the player going past, finds him 2 in Connolly. Trouble though, is it brewing? Dixon, a high kick over his shoulder towards full forward. Templeton's the spearhead, but fisted away from him and over the line in Melbourne's left forward pocket. Almost 9 minutes gone, 3rd term. Conditions have been overcast all day, but cool and no rain and ideal for football. Templeton doing the ruck work. Pushed forward towards Dixon. Greg the tackler, Dixon handling it like a hot potato and eventually has lost it. Well, North Melbourne through John Law had the run, but the umpire saying no, let's take it back across the mark. Greg gives it to McCann. McCann, a beautiful spearing pass finding Phil Kelly. Keep running, Stephen McCann, because he could flick it out to you. But no, Phil Kelly will go back and take his kick.
Melbourne with good defence had that one covered as Kelly goes towards half forward. Dwyer up high, can't take the mark, but Schimmelbusch now starting to come into the play. Puts the short pass forward. A well-placed kick finds Fury. Fury now only 30 metres out on about a 45-degree angle.
And Bob, it was Schimmelbusch last week against Geelong that brought the Northerners back after that 5-goal first term by the Cats.
It was the 3rd quarter that Schimmelbusch really dominated the game. So though he only had 2 kicks towards it to half-time, Schimmelbusch so far in this quarter has already had 3 kicks and 3 hand passes. As the kick offline, so that's 2 bad misses by North Melbourne in this quarter. Fury only bringing up 1 point on that occasion.
The Bluebirds probably, I'd say, the best cab I've ever driven. I've had it on the road for 2 years. I've clocked up 208,000 kilometres. It's a reliable car, economical.
St Kilda Saints come up against a mighty team from the west, South Fremantle, in a match that promises to be hard and close. Catch all the action from the best seat in the ground. The Sterling Cup, Tuesday night, 8:30 on 7.
Welcome back to Sevens Big League. It's time now for our TAB Footy Bets competition. We're going to be showing you a time. If you have a ticket that says 13:14 and you have your phone handy, then dial. 3rd quarter, the difference is 2 points.
But they've frittered away a few. Melbourne
9-4 at half-time, Sandy.
And still sitting on it too. Looking for the free kick, didn't happen, so Thorn immediately picks it up, gives it to Peter Moore. He could have gone short to Fidge, but the big fella in Moore has bounced his way from the half-back line to the half-forward line. Templeton, 1, 2, no, can't take it as Greg tries to tap it towards the line. He does so effectively and a throw-in to take place.
Yes, Pete Greg, what a great player. A wonderful player on the wing and in a couple of Brownlows. And since those couple of knee injuries, going back to half-back, and what a reliable player he is. McCann, not a clear tap. Withers puts the ball forward. Dwyer smothering the ball, forced it through for 1 rush point to Melbourne. So it's Melbourne 9-5, 59. Their first score in this quarter, just over 11 minutes gone. North Melbourne 8-12, 60. 1 point the margin by North Melbourne.
Smith to Glendinning. Roscoe doesn't hold it. In fact, he's having a spot of bother. But he shepherds for young David Dwyer, who floats one desperately close to the line and over as Ramsey attempts to take the mark out of bounds on the full, and so it will be Mike O'Sullivan. Looking to centre the ball towards Moore, no doubt, at half forward. That was the target. Waiting down is Thorn. That's good football as he gets it to Tossell. Tossell gets the handball away to Healy. He's in two minds. Eventually gives it to Boland, who's going to shoot for goal and put it through, and the Demons are back in front. Great play, great football on Sevens Big League as the scoreboard shows 10-5 to 8-12 with the Demons in front.
Young Glenn Boland there, coming down from the half-back line on the Seven Big League. The replay of that piece of play. Thorn gets the hand pass on to Tossell. Tossell across now to Healy. Healy in a bit of trouble, but gets the hand pass out to Boland, and he makes no mistake.
7 changes in the lead thus far in the game. So it's been pretty tight from the centre bounce. Johnson has his kick smothered, so it goes the other way. Kelly can't take it, but Hodgman can. Hodgie will have a shot. No, he was tackled as he got his kick towards the half-forward line. McDonald couldn't take it. Past Lyle it goes, and Jarrett, defending stoutly, gives it out to Boland, the latest goal scorer. It's still in the pocket. Hughes gets a hurried but a very long kick down towards the half-back line, and it stays in play. It gives Dugdale. He can go short to McCann. No, he runs his full distance and hooks it round even further. And the mark. Now here's a chance for them to go shooting in towards goal.
As Fury gives a hand pass across to Hodgman. Hodgman goes goalward, and North Melbourne now back in front.
So Hodgman kicks his second goal. He's kicked 2 goals, 1 of North Melbourne's tally of 9-12, and they lead by 1 point. The score changing for the 8th time.
Fury on replay, giving it out to Hodgman, and Kim Hodgman. Reliable kick on most occasions, no change then. Very unusual for a South Australian to be so reliable. So it's a 1 point lead to North Melbourne from the centre bounce.
Who writes your line?
It'll be Stephen McCann. Wins out on this occasion, taken by Connolly. Connolly's kick smothered. Peter Moore taps the ball forward. He was held, and so he'll take the free kick in the centre of the ground. Moore, great trier at times, a little bit over-exuberant and not doing things in the manner that he might. But Keith Gregg, no, hasn't been paid the mark. The loose ball comes out towards Tossell. He hooks the ball over the shoulder, down towards the forward area. McCann taps the ball down. Glendenning and Fidge, neither player can win out. The pack forming, and umpire Dennis Rich decides to bounce the ball 20 metres out from the Melbourne goal.
14.25 minutes played. Third term. The lead has changed 8 times thus far in the game. It's only 1 point the difference now, favouring the Northerners. Who've always appeared in this game to come from behind. They've been the ones that have had to level the score. To Glendenning goes McCann. Short, up towards the half-back line.
And now we find Fury now, playing on straight away. Puts himself under pressure, runs. No, he has had the bounce, so Fury gets a hand pass in just before he may have been penalised. The kick from Hodgman goes long, up towards Lyle. Couldn't quite take the mark. It's taken by Jarrett. Jarrett comes away with a nice pass towards O'Donnell. Couldn't take it. Dwyer now from the pocket. It's swinging back. It might be a great goal by Dwyer. Lovely football, young Dwyer. There he is, the son of a former great North Melbourne player. And by...
Ascendancy at this stage.
McCann now taps it down to Hodgman, coming into good form in this term. Hodgman's kick floating around, a good mark taken in defence by Alan Jarrett. Jarrett, the former Northerner, into the centre, finds a loose man in Connolly. Connolly plays on straight away, swings onto the left foot and puts a long kick down towards the half-forward area. Law punches the ball away. Swooping on it for Melbourne is Templeton couldn't quite take the mark. It's picked up by Keith Gregg. Melbourne fans not happy as that kick by Dixon went up towards the area. Smith coming out for North Melbourne. A good piece of shepherding allows Smith to give the hand pass back to Dugdale, who gave that piece of shepherding. Dugdale's kicking to no man's land, and we see Kelly O'Donnell now on the other side of the ground. O'Donnell gives the hand pass back, and we find now Giles coming away for the Demons. Puts a long kick towards centre half. Keith Gregg, a lovely mark.
Vintage Gregg. He's got Hodgman in the middle if he wants him, but he's probably still recovering from air sickness. Got up a mile. Over centre he goes. In fact, he's kicked it to a feast of Demon players there. And it goes back to the half-back line once again, where John Law takes a timely mark. Now they play on straight away. Here's a chance for Kelly. Schimmelbusch's covered. Giles picks it up, goes with a high kick out wide towards the wing. Unable to complete it was Dugdale, but he does have support through Atkins. Atkins has pace, which is why North wanted to keep him. He goes short, and the mark taken by David Dwyer. He's covering an enormous amount of ground, Dwyer, both sides of it.
I think Barassi's trying to swap wings, but North Melbourne sending each player with them, yeah.
Yep, okay. From O'Sullivan at the bottom of the pack, we will see a bounce. Oh, tight football here at the MCG. 65 plays 72, North Melbourne coming from behind, as they have so often in this match. The lead has changed hands on 8 occasions. Now, who's going to be first to it? Johnson tried to take it away, but the umpire said no. Well, the Northerners tried to throw it out, and that is highly illegal. So it will be O'Sullivan, who's the man at the bottom, and the seconds ago. Looking out towards the half-back flank. Hodgman in front tried to spoil his. Dwyer again on this side of the ground. Now, what is the man doing? Well, it doesn't matter. Shimmer says thank you from Atkins, goes goalward, but that one is a shocking kick from Shimmer, and it just squeaks in for one behind. His first contribution for the day as they go to 10-13, not good kicking, plays 10-5.
The North Melbourne skipper would not be pleased with that kick, Sandy.
I don't think he'd be too pleased with his day, Bobby, at the moment, but
it's done well in this quarter, though.
Yep, and still plenty of time to go.
Danny Hughes puts the ball back into play for Melbourne. Hughes started at centre-half forward as Giles takes the mark. Hughes started at centre-half forward, but has played most of his football in South Australia at full-back, so he's not unaccustomed to that position. We find now Dixon playing on after a nice mark. Puts it up towards the forward pocket area. Tossell and Law. Ramsey electing to let the ball go over the boundary line, so a throw-in to take place.
I know you'd never admit it, Bob, but obviously you've been reading some South Australian newspapers.
Yes, Andy.
Stumped. Totally stumped as North Melbourne make a change, and Thomas comes on to replace Donald McDonald. Not often Bobby Skilton admits that. From the throw-in, Dwyer in trouble. Looked for the free kick, and he's going to get it. Been a very impressive player the 2 weeks we've seen him, Bob, as we watch Donald McDonald on the interchange bench, just having a spell.
13 kicks to young David Dwyer as Glendenning takes it, goes for the short pass, looking for Fury, and Peter Moore really should have gone straight at Fury to try and punch that ball away, but Fury taking the easy mark. Stephen Smith getting ready to come in. Lyle couldn't quite take the mark. Thomas, who just came on the ground, is on the forward line. Holden keeps the ball in play. An awkward-looking bounce for Healy. Does it well, though, Gerard Healy. He's played a fine game as a ruck rover. Healy now towards centre wing. It's Keith Gregg and Dixon. Neither player can take the mark. Lending support to Keith Gregg is Stephen McCann. Really starting to come into it. Gives the hand pass to Hodgman. Back to Glendenning. Glendenning runs straight past Gordon with good, strong play. Gives a long hand pass to Britton. Back now to Fury. From centre-half forward, Fury goes wide to Ross Smith. Now to Dean Dugdale. Dugdale has the quick, long snap towards goal. Jimmy Cracker from behind. Can't take the mark. It's a North Melbourne goal as Kelly just puts the ball on the boot and brings up full points.
Great play by Cracker to try and blast that pack apart by pushing the ball backwards, because he knew that Kelly was waiting down, and he did so well. I thought for a minute, Bob, they may overdo the handball as we watch it in replay.
Fury gives it across to Smith. Back to Dean Dugdale. Dugdale now having the high kick into the goal square, and Jim Cracker coming from behind, hooked it over the back. Kelly's there. Desperate football. O'Sullivan trying to touch it. I think it might have even hit O'Sullivan's foot, Sandy.
The television camera doesn't lie, but let's go back to the action as Schimmelbusch is ripped off the football. I don't know that Schimmer's 100%. The free kick will go the way.
Now we pick up play in the final term, some 8 minutes in.
Smith back into play, going short, looking for Flower. The champ's been a little quiet. To centre wing. Withers, spoilt by Ramsey. Oh, this man has shown plenty today in Thorn. Up towards the half-forward line. They're all overrunning it. It'll eventually be left with Dean Dugdale. Gives it across to Gregg. Cleverly to Britton, who gets a bad bounce, but he recovers. Has support too, and Atkins, who goes out wider to Ramsey, and Ramsey can steady things down. He'll go into the middle. He's set up Donald McDonald. Almost held it, but stealing it will be Danny Hughes. Gets the handball away to Connolly. Connolly gives it across to Giles, who goes long, tumbling a putt towards the half-forward line. Smith is here. Templeton too. Fidge gets the handball to Johnson. Open goal. So can the Demons get it now? 12-11 to 14-15 on Seven's Big League.
2 goals to Alan Johnson. Streaming down from the wing. A nice hand pass from John Fidge. On replay now, we see Giles putting the ball high in the air. Templeton couldn't quite take the mark. Peter Smith overrunning it. Fidge, a quick hand pass to Johnson, and a nice goal of the Demons.
Off camera, as we go back to the centre, North Melbourne off camera have made another change. Thomasoff and Fury, who look to be injured, back on the ground. Now we've got a ball game on our hands with just 16 points the difference. The Demons also putting Reynolds back on the ground off camera as Cracker tries to send North Melbourne forward. Atkins is there too, so too Smith. He can't do anything with it. Hughes goes for a roundhouse right and he finds Peter Moore, who goes with a prodigious punt down towards Templeton, one hand. Fidge is there also. Go Johnny go, they're saying in Melbourne. He gives the handball across to Giles. Giles shoots towards goal, but Peter is way off target and out of bounds on the full.
So the free kick to be taken by Peter Smith of North Melbourne. Smith right alongside the behind post. Goes towards the half-back flank. Moore from behind. Brings it down. Fidge can't get the clear hand pass. Robbie Flower can't gain possession, so it's a throw-in to take place on the half-forward line for Melbourne. Just over 10 minutes have gone. It's 99 to 83. So 16 points to margin between the sides as Stephen McCann up high. Gets it down to Jim Cracker. Cracker's kick just short of Peter Giles. Too wide there for Fury. Flower comes on the scene. Under pressure from Ross Smith, but Flower does well. Good play, Robbie Flower. The hand pass across now to Giles with a long kick down, looking for Templeton. Templeton got rid of McCann, but the ball coming down towards Withers. Withers can't quite gain possession. Got it out to Connolly. The loose ball. Keith Gregg's tackled from behind. Not in possession of the ball, but we'll find a bounce to take place. Umpire Dennis Rich to come in, and he'll bounce the ball about 30 metres out from the Melbourne goal.
Just on 11 minutes gone. Final term. The Demons pecking away. The margin now 16 points favouring the Northerners. McCann and Templeton pushed over the back. Now it's the turn for the North Melbourne defence to work hard, as they do so too, up towards O'Sullivan and Fury back on the ground. Schimmelbusch, McDonald, a hurried left foot kick is going to bounce its way down towards the half-forward line. Jarrett leaves it. Now he's got to go after it because his teammate fumbled, and intercepting it, pushing it was Britton, and cleverly so. He was under pressure from 2 Melbourne players, and there was nothing more really, Bobby, he could do.
No, not much at all, Sandy. He couldn't quite gain possession. And so now the throw in on the half-forward line for North Melbourne. It'll be McDonald of North Melbourne. Moore.
Plenty of holding there.
Well, Moore held in the first place, and so the umpire missing that one. And then Donald McDonald showing his inexperience by hanging on after it. So a good umpire might possibly have let that one go. Keith Gregg up high, and that's a couple of great marks that Keith Gregg has taken.
There's vintage Gregg as he goes to the outer side where Ramsey can run on if he wants to. No, you're not going to, says Mark Withers. So he makes him go back. Dwyer! Oh, gee, he's an impressive young player, David Dwyer. 17 kicks to the half-forward line. Where's the big basketballer? Outmanoeuvred on this occasion, and it's Alan Jarrett who gives it across to Healy. Right on the last line of defence is Jarrett. Up towards Flower. Received a slight nudge. And although Roscoe Smith pulled in a good one-hander, he did give him a little nudge. And so Robert Flower on the half-back flank. Careful, they're going to run out of time here. I know there's plenty left on the clock, but they're not doing enough quickly. Healy's kick to the half-forward line. Plenty of flyers. Who's the quickest to recover? Dean Dugdale, but he's put under pressure and it goes over the line, courtesy of Chris Connolly of Melbourne.
Midway between half-forward flank and centre of the ground. Member side of it. McCann gets the tap. Robert Flower still going. Swings back onto the left foot. Just hooks it back. Took a little bit too long and put himself under pressure, and so it goes straight to Stephen McCann. McCann of North Melbourne. He too puts himself under pressure. The hand pass runs past Ramsey. Johnson taps it. Not good play by McCann as Thorne of Melbourne goes right down towards the goal square. The ball just misses and through for 1 point. So Stephen McCann making a bad mistake on that occasion, but fortunately for Melbourne only 1 more point.
Yes, things are going right for North, but wrong for the Demons at the moment as Gregg has a paddock to play with. up towards centre wing. Slight nudge on Phil Kelly. Some would have called it a mighty thump or a push, but no, it's out of bounds, and so a throw in at centre wing. 14 minutes played. Midway during the final term. 15 points the margin, but the Demons making very hard work of it. Hodgman picks it up. Some good shepherding him allows to get his umpteenth kick up towards Donald McDonald. Hughes in the back of him, said the umpire, and so a free kick. Hodgman's had 12 kicks.
And the hand pass comes to Atkins. He goes short, too short in fact. Boland intercepts from the half-back line. Boland puts the short pass into Hughes. Hughes of Melbourne now puts a long floating kick up towards the centre of the ground. No mark taken. It comes to the back and Thorn tackled, loses possession, comes back to him again. He's still there. The loose ball picked up by Connolly. A chance of a score as Connolly swings it back to Healy. Healy completely clear. Goes for the short pass where Tepelin's all on his own and the Demons in the van. Kelvin Tepelin, 4 goals so far as Tepelin only 20 metres out. Gotcha, said the North Melbourne fan. And I feel Kelvin Tepelin will answer that by saying goal number 5 coming up. 99-84. The kick by Tepelin. And now it's only 9 points between the sides as Tepelin brings up goal number 5.
Westpac announces the world's first national electronic banking system. A vast network of electronic terminals and bank branches that gives you the choice to do your banking where and when you want to. A system that is soon to be installed into over 1,000 service stations and supermarkets. All you need is just one card. The card is the bank, and the bank is Westpac.
But no matter how far or how wide I roam, I still call it straight.
From the centre, it is McCann who wins it, but they don't push it out of the middle. Johnson could be first to the football. It's critical if they can score this time down into this forward zone up towards Thorn. Away from Ramsey, he scoots, but the boundary line could beat him. He's in trouble, has got to backpedal towards Johnson. They're certainly going the long way around as Chris Connolly has possession now. Connolly to the half-forward line. Hodgman late on the sin, does it beautifully. 12 kicks he's had so far, and he bounced his way across the centre over the head of the basketballer in Mr. Lyle, and it'll be Jarrett at the back who could relieve the pressure. No, he overruns it. Smith picks it up. His kick is smothered. Back towards goal it goes. Now here's an opportunity. Is it Kelly? On the left foot, he's ripped through the goals, and one behind only. Oh, was that a push or was it not a push? Triple Brownlow medalist Bob Skilden.
I do believe so, Sandy.
Back into play once again. They've come to life now. 9 points the difference. Still plenty of time. Flower on the defensive side of centre wing. Coming from Mark Withers. Flower straight on with it once again as he gets the handball away to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan on the defensive side of centre goes to half forward. What's he got there? Giles, so too Reynolds. Play on, says the call. And so Thorn picks it up. Shoots in towards Fidge. Oh, they all go down. Who's going to be first up? It's Law for North Melbourne. Up towards Rossi Smith. He gets a bad bounce. Flower gets a good one. Looks to get the handball away. Does so too to O'Sullivan. And Michael steadies as he goes longer to full forward. Smith got out of position. So too was Fidge. And away comes McCann. What a fine player he's been as he gives it away to Little Atkins, who's back, and Dwyer also playing well. Up towards Kelly on centre wing. No mark taken. Shimmer has been on a holiday almost in this game. I think there's something wrong. Kelly, Atkins off the ground, sensibly to the half-forward line, and McDonald takes it.
Donald McDonald should draw the player to him and give it across now. Almost a trip. Now McDonald does the right thing and puts a long kick forward, looking for Lyle. One-handed by Lyle. Jimmy Cracker comes on the scene. A snap towards goal. A great goal by Jim Cracker, and North Melbourne in business again.
That could be the one that North Melbourne wanted to steady. Jimmy Cracker kicks his first goal. He's contributed 1 goal, 1. Reading it off the pack as it came down from Donald McDonald it was. The big pack flew with Lyle and Fury there for North Melbourne. It hit the chest of Smith, and Jimmy Cracker, anticipating beautifully in front of the back, picked it up with the left foot and just chipped it through.
Fairly quiet, Jim Cracker, so far today, but North Melbourne are happy to see through there. 106 to 90. McCann gets the tap. Donald McDonald tried to force it through. Picked up by Britton. His hand pass straight towards O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan's hand pass missed by Withers. Might have been off-sighted by the umpire. It comes out to Connolly, who gets it towards Flower. Flower trying to force the ball forward. It's picked up by Withers. Then he lost possession. Gains it again. Tackled from behind. We find Ross Smith trying to force it through, and he gets a free kick for the tackle too high. Gives it straight away to Hodgman. Hodgman with a long kick down. Lyle from behind. 2 grabs, 3. Called down by the umpire. Kelly's there for North Melbourne. Atkins comes in, but a free kick has gone against Kelly. It'll be taken by Holden of Melbourne.
And 23,292 people having different opinions on that one. As it goes to the outer side of the ground. Now a chance for Thorne. Twists and turns. He got caught, but too high. Too high as we approach the 20th minute of this final term. And a game that's never seen the margin more than 16 or 17 points. Thorne over centre. Reynolds up high, unable to complete the mark. Britton in trouble, gives it straight to Flower, who intercepted Cracker beautifully. A high kick by the champion up towards the half-forward line, and a good mark taken at half-forward by Gerard Healy. They want this one badly. Great fly by Healy then, coming over the top. He's got 2 goals to his credit at this stage of the game. With 20 minutes played, they trail by 16 points. This is the one that could keep them in the match. Not too much in the square, but the distance shouldn't be a problem for this man. He's normally a pretty good kicker of the football. Using the torpedo punt on this occasion. In fact, won't make the distance. Towards Templeton in the square. Smith is there, and he paddles it over the line. And we'll see a 1 behind record. So 91 plays 106, still time if they're good enough.
Peter Smith goes for the short pass, a little bit high from McCann. Will it go to the boundary line first? McCann, no, just touches the ball. So no free kick. It'll be a boundary throw-in to take place in the forward pocket for the Demons. Almost 21 minutes into this final term. Glendenning coming across to lend support to McCann. Reynolds gets the ball down to Connolly. Connolly straightening up and goes towards goal. It's a nice looking kick, but just marked on the line. Connolly really not following through, and it's John Law of North Melbourne.
Law to the outer side. I think he'll have to go back because he kicked very wide and went between the goal post and the behind post. In fact, Keith Gregg delivering the football back. Just over 21 minutes played. Law this time goes longer to the outer side of the ground. Glendenning waits behind. If he gets the bounce, he's laughing. And away goes the Brownlow medalist. Up towards Shimmer on the half-forward flank. From behind, he gets also a favourable bounce. Uses pace now as he screams around the boundary line. 1 bounce. Steadies. In towards full forward. The big fella's there, so to his fury. Suckers off the ground. Good night, Demons. She's all over. Anthony Fury scores his first goal.
Beasley coming off.
Beasley coming off the ground. That's a bit of a shock, and Dunn going in his place. So DP Domenico going for goal number 3. He's playing on the wing. I'd have to see what he'd do if he was playing at full forward. Probably hit the goal post. There's a chance now from DP Domenico. That's a good kick by Alberti, and it's a goal. So Hawthorn looking $1 million. 12 goals, 375 to Footscray, 2 goals, 10-22. Well, Pete, that forward line of Footscray is hopeless. We see Matthews go for this pass, and watch this young kid, Curran, take that mark. And it's, as Pete said, it's great when you start wrapping these kids, they perform for you after you give them praise. Williams off the ground, and he'll be replaced by Burton.
19 minutes gone, second quarter. Hawthorn with a more than useful lead at the moment. Knocked away by Purser. In fact, he collects it himself and then collects Robertson in the process. Umpire Peter Howe has decided on another bounce.
Well, actually, Purser's doing the best he can in the ruck. He's getting most of the knockouts, but he's not getting much assistance from his smaller players. They're supposed to be scouting around, taking the ball away.
They haven't been able to do that. Perfect example there. Judge up to Brereton, couldn't mark it. Coming out of defence well is Kennedy. Almost a mark to Schwab, but it rebounds to Burton, who's just come back onto the field. Edmund, and he tripped himself up. Good play by Ayres. Out it goes to half-back. Knock on by Robertson. A bad bounce there for Simmons. Now he's finally picked it up. Simmons from half-forward. Looks for Royal. Not a good hand pass. A chance for Hawthorn. Still a chance for him. Dunn
tackled by Tuck. Did he have the ball? Play on. Dunn tries to do just that. Hooking it back there is Purser again. Back to Hawkins. Wallace fumbles, but he should score from there. And through for one behind. So anything's useful as far as the Bulldogs are concerned at the moment. 2-11 to 12-3 on Sevens Big League. Green does the kicking in from full-back. He looks for Robertson, finds him in the back pocket. Robertson marking in front of Royal. Really made a mess of that, Robbo. The two Wallaces do battle. Neither wins out. It goes to Big Burn. Burn onto Tuck at centre wing. Long kick by Tuck. Looking for Matthews. Doesn't get a favourable bounce. It favours Kennedy, who got one in the back. Freak. Gary Ayres coming off. Gary suffering from the flu today. And coming back on is Langford for Hawthorn as the ball comes up towards the Footscray centre half back position. Purser again. Long handball, eventually rebounds to Kennedy from Egan, and Kennedy's kick up towards centre field, where it's marked by his namesake, and he'll get a free kick.
Well, that was a strong mark to Kennedy, and a free kick. Please yourself. He got the ball on the centre wing position, just over the 21-minute mark of this quarter. The ball back into play again. Up there towards there, flying high that time was McCarthy. Finally, Wallace goes for a long hand pass out wide. And the ball finally driven out wide now by Footscray, and a good mark taken there by Neil Cordy at half back. A 15-metre penalty here.
Well, I thought he was off.
Well, the umpire thought otherwise, and of course this brings him up to the wing position. But they're a heck of a way behind at the moment, 48 points to be exact. Footscray punched away again by Moore. Over to Tuck, playing his 250th and driving the ball long. That's the way to do it. Down towards those goals as we see the ball go back to Egan. Spins out of the pack nicely. Sends the ball back out there towards the wing position. Oh, nearly dropped that, but he's got it, Cordy. Cordy's out there at half back. A hand pass. Oh, it's a shocker. Over to Callum. The big fella can't bend down in time to pick it up. I don't know why they don't go for the kick.
Well, Michael Tuck showed them how to do it.
Well, that's right.
Kicks.
The more you handle the ball, the bigger the chance you've got of losing it. The ball back into play again. Purser battling his inside out. Finally, it's Simmons driving the ball back there towards that half-forward line. In comes Dunn. Taps the ball nicely over to Royal. The little fella's got a bit of a run here. He better kick it. He's going to lose it. Oh, as he put this guy under pressure. He put McKenna. He could have kicked it 5 minutes before that. Now, poor old McKenna will get the blame for that.
Wasn't his fault.
Oh, they're playing shocking football at the moment. The ball is finally driven back there towards the wing position. They both got onto that Purser and Big Burn. Finally, it comes down now, and a chance here for Simmons to get it, but the umpire's found a free kick. It'll go to Tuck. Didn't quite get that one. Must have been behind play. A 15-metre penalty, and the Footscray crowd not too happy about it. Tuck goes for a pass. He's still kicking long. He's not messing about. Matthews got one in the back, and he'll get a fall on the shoulder. And he'll get a free kick. Been around a bit too long for Egan. He played, as we said before, he's 300 today. He could play another 300 the way he's playing at the moment. Still be the first guy you'd pick in any side, Pete, wouldn't he?
He would.
There he goes. Lethal Lee Matthews. A long kick up there towards the full forward position. Knocked out by McCarthy, but it could be a free kick to him too. I don't know what that one was for. But umpire Source didn't hesitate. He may have been hanging onto his arm. And of course, he just... We'll watch that again.
Yeah, hang on to his
Yes,
arm.
hanging onto his arm. So, once again, a free kick to the big fella. McCarthy's already kicked one goal. And that's another one. So, 2 goals to McCarthy, and Hawthorn doing it easy at the moment. 13 goals, 381 to Footscray. 2 goals, 11-23.
Westpac announces the world's first national electronic banking system. A vast network of electronic terminals and bank branches that gives you the choice to do your banking where and when you want to. A system that is soon to be installed into over 1,000 service stations and supermarkets. All you need is just one card. The card is the bank, and the bank is Westpac.
I got a mate. I got a mate. I got a mate. Call Mazda. Real tough mate I go to work with. Real tough mate who works real hard. Real tough mate I gotta rely on. I got a mate. Call Mazda. This new E-Series is a real beauty. The whole range is hard and tough and efficient like all the Mazdas when it comes to business, but downright pampering when it comes to basics. Can't do nothing without a mate, and I got a mate called Mazda.
Well, there's a lot more to see in the Sunday Observer.
The Observer is 2 papers for the price of 1.
Because the 16-page Golden Guide is free. A 7-day guide to TV, radio, rock and roll, video, movies, cinema, and scoops on the stars.
Lethal Lee's exclusive story continues. The man he almost killed and the day he KO'd Cable. Luther Lip, a legend in his own mind.
There's a lot more to see in the Sunday Observer.
With the free Golden Guide, it's 2 papers for the price of 1.
Because the Sunday's best, bar none.
Makes getting out of bed worthwhile.
Near the bottom of this earth, our world, lies a beautiful island. An island so large that it still has over 30,000 kilometers of awesome, uninhabited virgin coastline. An island so rich in energy resources, it is the envy of the rest of the world. An island populated by less than 2 people for every square kilometer of landmass. In a troubled world, it stands as an anachronism, peaceful, staggeringly beautiful, resource-rich, lonely. The island is, of course, Australia, the country we all love. And it is for these reasons we need a strong defence force, not as a cure, but as a deterrent. And we need it now, before somebody else does something about it. Australia's Defence Force. Show them your support in defence of our land.
Of the interior, nothing was known. No European had ever been there.
The discovery of an unknown 1 million people, the clash of 2 cultures, and the confrontation of 2 civilizations graphically captured on film. An historic event that will never take place on this earth again. Nominated for an Academy Award, the world-acclaimed, multi-award-winning Monday special, First Contact, for the first time on television, Monday at 7:30 on 7.
81 plays 23, 7's big league from the Western Oval. Byrne and Purser, won by Byrne, picked up by Robertson. Robertson from the circle, fires it to Schwab, just gathers it in inside the square. Schwab a long shot in towards the 10-metre square. Matthews too long for him, through for 1 behind. 13 goals for, 82 to 211-23.
Pete, I don't know, you could have picked Footscray to beat Hawthorn today, truly.
Some guy riding in the sun, I think, did also, Lou, didn't he? His initials are Lou Richards. I won't say who he is. Byrne, right half forward. In towards the 10-metre square. It's Curran! Well, this guy is one of the most exciting prospects I've seen at full forward for a long time.
He's had 7 marks so far, Pete.
Let's look at that again. Perfect judgment.
He's not as big as the bloke out at Eston, but by golly, he's got better judgment, or just as good, I would say.
Different style of player.
Yep.
Curran kicks it goal and brings up 4 points, so 3 goals to Peter Curran. I'll call him Kevin today. 14-4, 88 to 211-23.
With a nice leap. He seems to linger in the air once he gets up there. We'll watch that again. He's got a beautiful style. There he goes, in front of the pack. He's not frightened to get in front of a pack either. It's a kind of a nice glide in the air, Pete. It's poetry in motion.
Well, with the long sleeves and that style of leap, he doesn't look unlike Peter Hudson. If he's half as good as he is, he'll be a player.
He hasn't got Peter's money.
88 to 23 at the Western Oval. 26 and a quarter minutes gone. Out of the circle. DP to Domenico and Burton. Burton gets there first, gets one in the back, and he'll get a free kick, will he not? Umpire Rowan Saws going in to speak to a couple of players. Chris Burton comes out with the free kick and gets a 15-metre penalty, which brings him up to left centre wing. Looking for Emmett Dunn. Moore in front. Rebounds to Royal. Royal up towards half forward for Footscray. Polkinghorn at the back. Gets in a bit of trouble from Jimmy Edmund, who's too tall. Footscray fans looking for a 15-metre penalty. Edmund in the meantime goes for a short pass. Michael Tuck in front. Edwards caught almost by Green. Comes out well. A shot at goal. Here's a goal coming up to Cordy, and he's put it through. Footscray's first for the quarter. Took them 27 minutes to get it. 14-4, 88 to 311-29.
And that came at the 27-minute mark. The difference now 59 points, so they're a long way down the drain yet. And the fact that far down the drain you couldn't reach with the goal post the way they're playing. They're shockers.
Still in this day and age, Lou.
Well, anything can happen. We've seen sides down by 10 or 12 goals at half-time, and of course there's plenty of time for them to win it.
27.5 minutes gone.
And we're back in the centre now. Footscray badly needed a couple of quick goals before the half-time siren. The ball back there to Tuck. He actually threw that to DiPierdomenico over to Wallace. The ball driven up there towards the full forward position. Punched away from Curran. Could be a free kick to Egan. Well, on Wingman, he didn't have the ball that time, and Egan will take the free kick in between full-back and centre-half-back. Going out wide again. Russell Green backed into McKenna that time. Kicked off the ground by Hanson out to the wing position. Coming in to meet it now is Purser and McCarthy. Well, down he goes. It's picked up by Hanson, but he's got himself into a bit of trouble. Gives it back to the wrong man again to Tuck. And Polkinghorne is grabbed on the boundary line. The ball is out of bounds on the centre wing position. Could be a free kick to Polkinghorne. Well, he was grabbed when he didn't have the ball for sure. That's Brereton flying, punched away by Kennedy. Well, they all missed that one. Down goes Burton and Green. Finally, it's over to Hanson. Hanson's kick is a shocker, and he's put it out of bounds. He's having a bad day today, too.
Got a few mates.
There's Brereton with the ball. Out there at centre wing position. Goes for the long kick again. That's what Hawthorn are doing. Up goes DiPierdomenico. Judge at the back of the pack. A hand pass to Wallace. And this could be one coming up for Hawthorn. Yes, another goal. So they're doing it easily. Hawthorn at the moment 15-4-94 to Footscray 3-11-29.
You can get it riding, you can get it sliding, you can feel it coming on about 4. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Vic. Vic Bitter. You can get it in a hole or up a pole. You can get it doing nothing at all. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Vic. A long, cold Vic. You can get it walking. You can get it talking. You can get it working a plow. Matter of fact, I got it now. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and the best cold beer is Vic. Victoria Bitter.
When you need a lift but you just can't take a break, pull out some PK chewing gum.
The clean, fresh feeling of PK chewing gum puts a little lift in everything you do. That fresh flavor burst, that crisp, clean taste, that PK pickup is going for you.
Chewing PK gum really keeps you humming. PK chewing gum keeps you humming along. Chewing PK gum really keeps you humming. PK chewing gum keeps you humming along.
Because everyone loves a long weekend. Budget gives you the chance of making every weekend a long weekend. Take off any time on any Thursday or Friday, and for the price of 2 days, we'll give you 3 days rental. Rent on Thursday or Friday, and you'll get 3 days rental for the price of 2. 1 day free to really help you get away from it all. Budget's longer weekend rate, driving your weekend dollar further.
Bar takes the goodness of milk and bubbles it into milk chocolate to give you a deliciously different, smoother, melt-in-the-mouth experience. New Aero Bar, the aerodynamic taste.
Monday night on Cop Shop, a master thief passes the tricks of the trade onto a novice, but eager students often learn too quickly. Meanwhile, Riverside is leaderless after Timms is suspended from duty. Cop Shop, Monday, 8:30.
We're at the 18.5-minute mark of the third quarter. Hawthorn 17-7, Footscray 5-11.
Although they've won 2 out of their last 4 games here. When they were reigning premiers back in 61. They played the first game of the 62 season here and were slaughtered. Byrne at the back, got high. Hanson might have come down with the mark just about, but the umpire didn't play it. It's taken by Wallace. Wallace looks the done. Knock on by the former Tiger. Oh, Polkinghorne had a fresh air shot. On some of my 1 irons. Edwards. Right centre wing. On to Royal, gathered that in well. Royal from right half forward flank, long ball into the goal square. Mew and Beasley, a 2-out duel. Snapshot by Cordy, muffed. Edmund, caught. And the ball up will take place in the goal square.
Not a mess about that Hawthorn defence. They certainly tackled, don't they?
He couldn't get clear. He could have almost been penalised for holding the ball. Mew this time gets boot to ball. It's not very long. Wallace, good mark. And Wallace only 25 metres out from goal. A chance to bring up his second goal. 17 kicks to Wallace. And it is indeed his second goal. So Footscray outscoring Hawthorn this quarter. And the Bulldogs now 6-11-47, Hawthorn 17-7, 109.
Well, they're still a good distance behind, 62 points, but still, while the game goes on, there's still hope just over the 20-minute mark.
Well, if they can get another 3 or 4 this quarter.
Well, that'll put them back within firing range, but they'll have to lift their game. But Wallace doing pretty well in the centre. He's driving him forward, but he's not getting much assistance down there in attack. Centre bounce again, just over the 20-minute mark of this third quarter. Ball pushed out that time by Payton, grabbed by Royal. He lost that one. Kicked off the ground by Payton. Finally, it's Brian Cordy coming out with the ball. They go back into attack again, up there towards the full forward position. Down go Mew and Beasley, backing up well as usual as Green. Goes for a pass out wide to Tuck. Too late on the scene was Cordy. The umpire's call play that was nearly a mark to Tuck that time. Back it goes again. Punched out by Falkenhorn. Grabbed here by Little Simmons. He's kicked the goal a few moments ago. The ball high into the full forward zone, but there he is on his own. Mew, a hand pass to Falkenhorn. Bounces beautifully for him. And they take the ball back over that half-back line. Hawthorn punched on again by Swab. There's a go now for Wallace. Kicked their last goal, got one in the back. And he'll take the free kick. And now umpire call play. And we see Burton drive it up there towards the full forward position. Beasley's got there's a chance for Simmons to get a goal. He might have got this one through as he doubles touched. Well, they go in hard, that defence of Hawthorn's, don't they? He didn't have much of a chance, Little Simmons, that time with Kennedy riding him into the ground. Ball back into play again by Mew, out towards that half-back line. Good mark to DP Domenico, already kicked 4 goals. A long hand pass to Moore, but grabbed around the neck, shrugged that one off and drove it out there, but pushed away again. Over towards Lee Matthews, back to Payton. The ball up over the half-forward line for Hawthorn. Punched away again by Sill, back to Kellett. And they're looking a little bit better now, Footscray, as we see a hand pass from Burton. He's in a bit of trouble, Kellett, but still gets a kick. Good play by the centre half-back for Footscray. Ball punched down again. Coming out to meet it is Morris. Picks it up okay, a hand pass over to Kennedy. Another one back to Tuck at half-back. And they do it pretty easy. They take the ball around there towards the wing position. There's Wallace taking that mark. I don't think that was touched, that one, but there's the mark. I think he'll play that. And the mark to go to Brewerton. Played very well at centre half forward today. Looking there for Curran. Drives the ball up towards the full forward position. The back was Judd's. Kicked off the ground that time by Egan. You see Dunover run the ball, but Hanson backing up well. Gives a hand pass. It's a long one. But there's Payton. A hand pass back to DP Domenico, going for the long kit. Up there towards Tuck. Tuck goes the punch on. The ball hits the deck again. Egan gives a hand pass out to McKenna. It's not a good one. And McKenna will take that ball away from the back pocket with the hand pass.
So Footscray playing with a lot more determination. Kellett at half-back. Shocking kick. DP Domenico has played a great game for Hawthorn. 15 kicks to Bertie, looks for Judge, and Judge doesn't let him down. Judge decides to play on, he's confident. He's already kicked a couple. Judge, this one is off target, I fancy. No, it's a goal. 4 goals to Judge. And Hawthorn go further ahead, 18-7, 115 to 6-12, 48. Well, Judge taking the pass then from DP Domenico. As I said, played on. He was very confident of kicking it. And the goal umpire pretty confident in that decision, even though he moved to the right of the goal post. 23.5 minutes have gone in the third quarter. 18-7 to 6-12 on Sevens Big League. Payton having a run in the ruck and wins it. Out to McCarthy, who can't tap it anywhere. Burton up to half forward for the Scraggers. Rickman is there, but caught. Morris gets it forward to Robertson. Robertson in turn back to Kennedy. On to Schwab. Kennedy caught by Burton. Royal's short pass up to Morris. Morris to Judge. He doesn't often miss those, Judge. Still got a chance. Cordy into his back. Backing up is Kennedy. Beautiful kick by Kennedy. Good 55 metres. They all miss Judge subsequently. Polkinghorne tries to get it off the ground. Edmund, though, a chance for a Footscray score. That's a goal. Jimmy Edmonds first and Footscray seventh. Their fourth goal this quarter. 7-12-54 to 18-7, 115.
And we're just on the 25-minute mark. And Footscray have played a lot better this quarter, but still a long way down the drain as the ball comes out there now to Edwards, to Edmund, a very nice tap and a nice goal, a very handy one.
Coming off the ground, Neil Cordy. Williams coming back on for Footscray. That goal, incidentally, Lou, resulted from a beautifully long kick by Kennedy.
Well, that's what they should have been doing all day. They've been messing about with hand passing, particularly on their forward line.
We're into time on now of the third quarter.
54, Footscray to Hawthorn, 115. The ball knocked out by Payton. The fumble that time by McKenna, but now he's clear and they go back into attack again. There's a chance. Oh, he dropped another, and that's about four he's dropped today, Beasley. And pouncing on the ball was Simmons. A hand pass coming out to Edwards. He taps the ball back, looking there for McKenna, who scoops it out again. And a hand pass coming back to Beasley, but he runs into a brick wall there. Can't get out. The umpire will ball it up around about the centre-half forward position for Footscray. At the moment, there are 54 points against Hawthorn's 115. Into this quarter by about 26 minutes. Pushed out by Tuck. Two Footscray players spoil each other. Edmund gets it out now to Wallace. A snap and goal. But it's up target, and it's through for 1 point. So Footscray move on now to 7 goals, 13-55 to Hawthorn, 14-7, 115. I think you'll agree, Pete, they've played a little bit better this quarter, but not nowhere near good enough to even make this a game in this last quarter. Let's hope they can really lift their game in the last quarters. The ball goes back now to Edwards, another fumble, but he's clear. There's a long left foot kick up towards Mew and Beasley. And I think did he touch that? No, a goal! It's 2 goals to Edwards. Well, Mew's not happy about it. 8 goals, 13-61. Footscray to Hawthorn, 18-7, 150.
Sevens Big League is part of the 1984 Nissan VFL Premiership season.
Looking at those passages of replay, you'd think that Footscray were a lot closer than they actually were, but Hawthorn winning the game in the second quarter when they added 10-3 to 1-2 to lead by 66 points at the major change, and they finally won the game by 47 points. Major goal kickers for Hawthorn, D.P. Domenico and Judge each got 4, and for Footscray, Butch Edwards finished up with 6, and he got 4 of those during the final term. Stats on the match, and Hawthorn had 15 more kicks, 31 more marks, 17 more handballs, but interestingly, only 3 more shots at goal. Lee Matthews, of course, played his 300th senior game today. We spoke to him in 7 National News tonight, and in the rooms after the game, I spoke to Michael Tuck, who today played game number 250. Well, Michael, how did you find your 250th game?
Very nerve-wracking early, but just worrying how the side would go and how I'd go myself, because it's nice to win on such an occasion like it was.
Well, the side went all right, but mainly in one quarter.
Yes, we sort of, the first 3 quarters were quite good really, because they'd have to come back, but I weren't very happy with the last quarter because there was no, they seemed to be running everywhere where we eased up a little bit, which wasn't good really.
Well, Jeansy called you into the room. Did he have a few harsh words to say after the match?
I was a little bit disappointed in a few of the blokes on the other side were getting a lot of kicks and that, so he wasn't real happy, but he reckons it was such a good day he wouldn't make too much of a mess of it.
Well, what about your own form anyway on the day for you?
Well, it's pretty hard when you're playing, but I got a few kicks, so I was quite happy really to help the side win, so it was quite good really.
2 weeks in a row, Michael, the side has played a scintillating quarter against St Kilda and then today, and then have the guys relaxed a little bit?
As I said, I reckon the first 3 quarters we played real well, but the last quarter I think we must have relaxed a little bit, or as Ginger said, we're not fitting up, but I think we just mentally relaxed a bit because we had the win and we're about 10 goals up.
Well, how long do you go on from here? You've played 250. Any ambitions for the 300?
I'd like to, but if you can keep your form going all right, but injuries is the biggest problem, because if you do a knee like young Peter Russo, he's missed 12 months, which is, at my age, could be a fair bit, but I hope to go on, but as long as the form's all right and as long as injuries all right.
Michael, congratulations on your game today. Congratulations, more importantly, on 250 senior games.
Well, thanks very much, Peter.
Thanks, Mick. Good on you, mate. One of the quiet men of VFL football, Michael Tuck. And incidentally, on World of Sport tomorrow, our special guest will be Hawk skipper Lee Matthews, who, of course, as I said, played his 300th game today. Time to check the winners now of our TAB Footy Bet phone account competition, and two winners, each winning $250 with the compliments of NEC, Mr. A. Demetriou of West Coburg and Mr. G. Elliott of Templestay. Coming up shortly, Scott Palmer's check on the footy stop press. We'll be back with that in just a moment. And our final game for replay tonight, the clash down at Moorabbin between St Kilda and Geelong.
We've seen a whole lot of champions in Australia on Rank Arena, Australia's favourite colour TV. Seen them run, swim and bowl, seen them hit and do it all on Rank Arena, our favourite colour TV.
Now, Rank Arena proudly salute their champion, partner in technology, NEC, the name that will continue to bring you the very best in colour TV.
See them try, see them fall, see it best of all on Rank Arena, our favourite colour TV.
When I'm driving my turbocharged Bluebird, comfort is not something you think about. But on the road, to me, comfort is paramount. My Bluebird's got all the power and comfort I need.
Bluebird's total balance of performance and comfort works for Nissan team driver George Fury, and it'll work for you. Bluebird sedans start at only $8,705 with the government rebate and your Nissan dealers dealing. See him now.
I'm no big-time operator, but I do know how to run a business. Well, making a buck isn't easy, so when I managed to put a bit aside, I knew I'd better do the right thing with it. So I found an investment with a good rate of interest and easy access to your money if you need it without loss of capital. Something so simple you can get them from any bank or official post office or stockbroker. Something backed all the way by the Commonwealth Government. Well, you know what they call them.
Easy? The first time I came into the TAB, I had dinner on my winnings. It's so easy. There's a whole range of games.
It's so easy.
It's fun too.
If there's anything you're not sure about, there are people like Sue more than happy to help. You really should try it. How about dinner?
It's so easy to play the game.
There has been a fire and a murder, and Bergerac's involvement with both leads to a plunge off the wagon. Bergerac's past catches up and overtakes him as he struggles against an influential and wealthy family. Tonight, 9:30 on 7.
All the winners in our NEC footy bet competition go into the barrel for a superb prize at the end of the year, John Deeks, and it is...
It's the GL manual Pulsar hatchback from Nissan, powered by a sporty 1.5-litre engine with 5-speed manual overdrive. The Pulsar GL hatch offers a standard of motoring unparalleled in any other small car, and $10,000 worth of magnificent NEC products, including television, audio, video and microwave ovens, in the end-of-year footy bet competition. NEC, your future in home entertainment.
And speaking of home entertainment, we go up now to the offices of the Sunday Press and say a very good evening to sporting editor Scott Palmer.
Good evening, Peter. Welcome, viewers, back to the Sunday Press. A few coaches are on the rack tonight. Ron Barassi is going to turn a deaf ear to public criticism on his coaching. If you listened to it, said Barassi, you wouldn't bother to be in football. Barassi said that from next week, Melbourne is going to take big risks to bring up a first win. He didn't say what they were, but they could have Geelong worried all this week. Fullback Stephen Smith of Melbourne has a shoulder injury that could keep him out of next week's game. North's Barry Cable is an optimist, and God love him. He said after the day's win, the 5 is our first objective. He has Phil Cracker with a knee ligament trouble, and the Kangaroos aren't too pleased about it. Fury also has an ankle. We've got to stop the rot now, said Footscray's Mick Malthouse. It's quite easy to see why Hawthorn were the premiers last year. Malthouse can't understand why the Bulldogs' skill level has dropped so badly in just 2 weeks, and particularly the form of full forward Simon Beasley, who was without a goal again today. Hawthorn's Terry Wallace was a late inclusion and was reported for allegedly using a forearm on Footscray captain Jim Edmund. It was a big win for the Hawks, and Alan Jeans has Wallace to worry about, plus a crop of injuries. Ayres has a hamstring, so has Matthews, and Breton has a hip injury. But what about the 2 vets today? Matthews in his 300th and Tuck in his 250th. They got 42 kicks between them against the Bulldogs. I'm not talking about my future. I want to get on with my coaching. A dejected Tony Jewell said at Moorabbin tonight. There was little talked about at Moorabbin after the match, but they're having a post-mortem right now. 2 reports occurred down there and a big brawl in the 4th quarter. Bernard Toohey was booked for striking Robert Alphingston, and big Darryl Flanagan was reported for unduly rough play on Terry Smith. Geelong coach Tom Hapey said the Cats' second quarter was brilliant, but the fade out in the second half was a worry. I'll be putting them through hard training next week. That's typical Hapey stuff. Back to you, Peter.
Thank you, Scotty. We check the leading goal kickers now. Not too much action on the board at the moment. Tony Lockett finished up, though, with 7 today and Mark Jackson 6, but still the leader is Fish. Paul Salmon with a total of 31 goals. Well, today's St Kilda Geelong clash at Moorabbin, despite the respective positions of the two sides on the ladder, did have a couple of things going for it. First, the return of Jacko to Moorabbin, and then the return to football of Saints skipper Trevor Barker, who's been sidelined, of course, after a knee operation. Last year too, St Kilda surprised the Cats with a 52-point win down at Cardinia Park. And of course, a couple of years back at Moorabbin, we had that very controversial goal. Remember, was it touched or was it not touched by Richard Murray? Last week, both sides were disappointing. Geelong lost their first game of the year to North, while the Saints, after a promising start against Hawthorn, went down by 10 goals. And of course, are still to record a win for the season. Today, our commentators at the ground were Peter McKenna and Jack Edwards, and we pick up our coverage at the 9-minute mark of the second quarter, the difference favouring the Cats, 29 points.
Geelong looking too smart for St Kilda. St Kilda forwards not doing the job well at all. They're behind. Here's Jackson going one-handed. Nearly took it too. Williams tackled well. The umpire calls play on. Jackson comes on the scene. Been taken away by Frawley. And now we're going to see the ball delivered by Brown, right out to the wing position on the outer side where Morwood gives chase. It's Morwood out there doing battle with Byrne. Byrne wins out. Byrne with the ball in front of him. Gains possession, a long hand pass. Good football by Ray Byrne. Got the ball downfield. And it looked like Christensen getting the ball away toward Drum. Drum picks up now. The left foot kick in toward Johnson into the back of Elphinston. And Johnson takes it on the grab, second grab. Got it out again. Geelong looking good.
There's a short pass coming across, a chance now for Jackson. Jeff Cunningham's there also. Now it's Michael Turner. He's got it. He snaps it back at the goals. He kicks it high. And what's he done with this one? He's put it through. A tremendous goal. I think the goal umpire was going to signal a point, Jack.
Well, he was waiting for the umpire, the central umpire, waiting to get his eye before he gave the indication that the kick was clear. So Geelong 7-7 now, 49. And St Kilda 2-2, 14. Yes.
Well, the ball was put through beautifully there by the captain of Geelong, Michael Turner, and well, there was not much crowd reaction, which all St Kilda supporters up that end, which indicated that he might have kicked the goal. But there's Drum now coming out of the centre square area over there to Ray Byrne. Up to half forward. The Cats are playing well at the moment as a lovely mark is taken there by Terry Bright.
Terry Bright, nearly on the centre wing position, looking down toward the forward pocket where the lead has been made. The pass is good too, and Yates takes the mark for Geelong. The lead is another one by Johnson. He's going to ignore that and go toward the goals. He's kicking long toward the scoring zone, and he's put it through. It's a good goal, kicked by Yates. He kicks his first, and it's all Geelong. Geelong 8 goals 7, 55 points, and Kilda 2-2, 14.
Yes, and Geelong are very, very psyched up to win this game by the way they're playing. They're playing very good football at the moment. And St Kilda are making moves galore. In fact, Robert Mace is now going back to the back line. I think he's going to change with Glenn Brown. I don't know what that is going to achieve. They need some drive up in the centre, of course, as we see Mossop getting it out. Here they come again. This is Williams. Jeffrey Cunningham, he won't give in for the Saints. Oh, look at this side. The only player waiting for that is Ray Byrne. He kicks it high towards half forward. Over the back of the pack is Peter Johnson. The Cats in everything as Williams tries to get in the hand pass. He does. Over to Turner. Turner breaks away, kicks it high, looking for Jackson. Jackson against Crow. Nearly a mark to Jackson. No mark or no free kick. Play on, said the umpire as the ball is forced. And now it's a free kick.
He's a bit slow with that one.
No, but he's paying it for...
holding.
He's paying it for deliberate out of bounds, I think, Jack.
I thought he was paying for holding because that was the free kick we saw.
He was too late for that one. I think he paid a deliberate out of bounds.
Oh, well, Jackson going for his 4th goal. I'm not going to try and work out what they're doing. I'll wait and see what they actually pay. Jackson tries to bend the kick. He kicks into Crow. No score at all. 15 metres out from Geelong's goal. Christensen got a hand pass out to Bruns. Bruns steps back toward goal, and he's put it through. So Bruns kicks his first goal. St Kilda stay on 2 goals, 2-14. But Geelong moved their score to 9 goals, 7, 61 points on Sevens Big League.
Well, the Cats can't do a thing wrong at the moment. They're kicking into the slight breeze. The Saints have gone to water. Sidebottom's gone off the ground. A big loss, but still not that much of a loss. 7 goals, 5 in fact in front at the moment of Geelong. And they are very, very dominant. And the St Kilda forward line, or half forward line in particular, is non-existent.
They're playing too much behind, Peter. Should be up in front. Let's see what happens now as Mossop gets the tap down. Christensen can't get boot to ball. Mossop kicks it off again, taken by Yates, drives down towards Jackson. In the back of Jackson is Crow. The ball comes to the front of the pack. Get a chance down there for Tomei. He was caught in possession, but the umpire said a bounce. The bounce taking place about 30 metres out from Geelong's goal. St Kilda have not scored in the 13.5 minutes we've played of the second term. Geelong have added 4 goals, 2.
Jackson tries to grab it out of the ruck. In goes Robert Mace. He goes in hard after the ball and he receives the free kick. Or is it Dean Chiron? It's Robert Mace, in fact. But they've had to put good players down to that last line of defence, which certainly won't help them win the game. There's Narkle, who's been quiet. The ball is stumped away. Going in after is Gary Ablett. Over the line it goes and out of bounds. And Geelong at the moment far too strong and far too good for the Saints.
Far too disciplined too, I would think. Mossop got a big tap away from the pack, favours Williams. Williams after it now for Geelong, hand passing back to Flanagan. Flanagan shoot it down again and Byrne. The running, attacking half-back, drives down toward the half-forward zone. It's thumped away from the pack. In comes Chiron, can't take it cleanly. Dives into the back of Christensen, picked up by Bruns. Bruns snaps back, but Crow's in front of Jackson to take this mark.
Doing a fair job on Jackson too, Max Crow, but unfortunately he's their key centre-half forward. He's been moved to the back line. Here it is on the half-back flank with Mossop, half-forward for Geelong. He breaks away, easy as you like, and he kicks it high again, up towards Jackson, who was held. Play on, said the umpire. Is it a free kick? It's a mark, in fact. And this is to Peter Johnson, who's come right back into the game in this second quarter.
I think Jackson's getting in front of Crow and making out that he is being held, but I'll have to get back to that one later on when it happens again. Peter Johnson, they told me his kicking for goal has improved. Well, let's hope it has for his sake. Kick on its way, it's drifting across. The umpire said, you haven't improved that much today, Peter. You're off target, so only 1 behind.
Stephen Pirrie has been taken off the ground. He was well beaten by Jackson, was moved to centre-half forward, and as I said, they were getting no drive there. Coming onto the ground is Darryl Cunningham, but that certainly won't help them as far as height goes. Towards the half-back line it goes. Michael Turner tries to keep the ball in play, but he can't do so. Over the line and out of bounds goes the football.
Geelong 9-8-62, St Kilda 2-2-14. The time clock showing 15 3/4 minutes have gone. Sevens Big League second quarter of the game at St Kilda and Geelong. Hand pass comes to Smith. He's in trouble, but got a hand pass back. I don't know out of trouble or not. Taken away by Ablett. Ablett balks well, looks for lead now, drives long. Down toward Jackson, up towards Johnson, but Jackson judged the flight of that ball beautifully. He has kicked 3 goals. This could be his 4th goal.
That was a great mark.
That was a good
by
mark.
Mark Jackson, a tremendous mark. There was a pack of 3 or 4 players. He judged it beautifully. One grab, a very strong mark. And let's see what he can do with this drop punt. He's normally a very accurate kick for goal. He stabs at that one. And the goal umpire goes across and says that's the 4th goal of the game to Mark Jackson after a great mark.
Geelong move away further from St Kilda. St Kilda stay on their quarter time score 2-2-14. Geelong go on to 10 goals 8, 68. Well, Peter, what can St Kilda do? They're being beaten across the half-forward line.
I just keep looking at that windsock that is pointing to the end which St Kilda is kicking to. Poor old Tony Lockett down there has not seen the ball in this quarter.
Well, if you had good vision, you could see it up there going the other way, going Geelong's way, but Yates got a hand pass out. Turner takes it. Geelong go again. It's through Bruns now after Turner's hand pass. Bruns goes goal, and it's another one. Bruns kicks his second in the space of 3 minutes, and Geelong total their score up now. St Kilda still stagnate on 2-2-14, their quarter time score. And Geelong race away to a 60-point lead. A 10-goal break they have now. 11-8, 74.
Well, honestly, Jack, before the game, I really thought we were going to see a very even contest today. St Kilda at home, they played reasonably well on Monday against Hawthorn. Geelong were beaten, of course, by North at Geelong last week. But this is unbelievable. Kicking into the breeze, not a really strong breeze, but Geelong have absolutely dominated. Here's Williams in the centre, kicking it out wide to Peake. Peake charges after the football. Crawley dives on top of it, and umpire Carbines will come in and bounce the football.
Geelong now have kicked 6 goals, 3 in this term, as opposed to their first quarter score of 5-5.
St Kilda yet to score, Jack.
That's right, they haven't moved off 2-2. And now, Geelong go forward again, and a hand pass will come from Out towards Christensen, should have given it to Jackson. That is done now, Jackson goes goalward. He's got another one. Geelong, 12 goals, 880. St Kilda, 2-2-14, and what a slaughter.
Any national TV or video you buy this year will still be under warranty in 1987.
In here, team. Oh, mind your head, Schwartz. Now, here we have a typical TAA business flight, but is there a typical business person? This gentleman, for example, elects to travel economy. Despite the free drinks up front. Exactly, Armstrong. You'll be on the moon one day.
Thank you.
Then there's the workers who fly TAA business class, never to be disturbed. Except for coffee break. Very good, Biggles. Ah, yes, and those businessmen who demand immediate attention. And those who are to be left alone. Felicity, please. Ah, the managing directors, built like basketball players who require TAA first-class legroom. You'd understand that, wouldn't you, Schwartz?
Yes, not to mention the privacy.
All I can say is that their business is our business, and you should make it your business to help them go about it. Now the rest is up to you. TAA, the friendly way.
Of going about your business.
You can get it riding. You can get it sliding. You can feel it coming on about 4. A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer. And the best cold beer is Vic. Vic Bitter. You can get it walking. You can get it talking. You can get it working a plow. Matter of fact, I got it now. Victoria Bitter.
All the band has hitched a ride with sweet Chelsea Brown. That's me. Mitsubishi Express wagon, rave around town. Tough and roomy, seats for 8. Loads low through that big tailgate. Fun to drive, it's really great, and the price is down. Express wagon. This week, drive away for $9,999.
It's another Mitsubishi.
At this price, catch us if you can.
Sunday, 7:30, Kingswood Country. Ted Bullpen, Juvenile, has a hard trick to wriggle out of. At 8, Carry On Laughing. Sid James and the gang are just camping around. Sunday night from 7:30, be there with 7.
Final quarter from Moorabbin now, and Geelong leading by 58 points.
7 Big League welcomes you to Moorabbin Oval, where St Kilda are at home to Geelong, but are trailing by 58 points as the final term begins. From the centre of the bounds, centre of the ground, Peake tried to thump it out, tapped again by Narkle, picked up and hurriedly booted downfield. But by Terry Smith, got it down to Darryl Cunningham. Hand pass comes out, a chance for Robert Mace. He goes into the open goals, but it's chopped off. A very poor kick by Mace, goes straight to Mark Voss. Voss going the hand pass now to get the ball away from the St Kilda goals, and the mark taken in the nick of time by Williams. Good kick by Johns to find Williams on that occasion. Reid driving up to the wing position. Tomei there. And the mark paid to Paul Tomei on the wing position for St Kilda. St Kilda had their best term in the third quarter when they kicked 3 goals 5 to Geelong's 2 goals 2, but they still trail by 58 points.
Flanagan goes in after it for Geelong. In the first half, Geelong absolutely thrashed the Saints. A very poor second quarter in which they failed to kick a goal by the Saints. Kicking with the breeze, and Geelong completely overran them, but to their credit, St Kilda, they did lift in the third quarter, kicking into the slight breeze. Here's Darren Flanagan, who took his place at centre-half forward in place of Stephen Reynoldsson, who did not take his place in the side. Also, the Cats lost very, very early in the game. Scratcher Neal, who looked to go up with a serious injury, holding his stomach, and has not reappeared. So that was a bad loss also. Side bottom has gone off the ground for St Kilda, and that made them short in the big man department. A long hand pass comes out towards Michael Turner, the Geelong captain. Towards the boundary line it goes. In fact, it's still in play. It's May. But I thought it was out too, Jack, as we see on the left foot. Glenn Brown hooking it back towards centre wing. The mark is taken by Terry Smith. Oh, hand pass to Narkle, who was covered, and that is shocking football.
And a 15-metre penalty against Narkle. The player with the ball, Gary Ablett, has played very, very well indeed for Geelong. Ooh. And a great kick, as you see by that one. Driving up to the full forward zone. Johnson can't get out cleanly. Hand pass comes out. Yates caught one a little bit too high, but the umpire didn't see that one. And St Kilda's free kick to Cronin. Cronin to Morwood. Morwood in trouble. There was no one to kick to, so he hand passed toward the boundary line. You're not watching the best football that St Kilda can play, surely. Surely they're a better team than what I've seen 3 out of 5 games.
Well, we've seen 2 good exhibitions by the full forwards. Jackson has kicked 6. And down the other end, I am tremendously impressed with young Tony Lockett, although Mark Boss has been a pretty good player also for Geelong. Here's Williams from the centre of the ground up to Peter Johnson. Can't take the mark. Terry Bright, a long hand pass looking for Ray Byrne. Waiting at the front of the pack was Paul Morwood. Over to Narkle. Narkle's on centre wing. He's got a paddock to run in as he hooks it back to Lockett. Lockett caught behind. Oh, almost a mark. Goes in after it. Great play by the big full forward. Dives on top of the ball. No free kick, said the umpire. Malcolm Reid caught with the ball. A great tackle there. Was that Jeff Cunningham?
It was a great tackle. Reid going crook. The umpire said you had all day to get rid of it, but Cunningham's tackle was a great one.
Well, I've always said this, Jack. I've seen St Kilda. You've seen them 3 times. I've seen them 4 times. Would be in the best 3 tacklers in league football. Jeff Cunningham, he is a ferocious tackler.
Well, he should be rewarded with a goal for his tackle there, because Cunningham's only 15 metres out from goal. Oh, puts the ball on its way, but he's missed it.
He's not the best. He's not in the best 3 kicks in the league, that's for sure.
Geelong 14 goals, 12-96. Their third quarter score hasn't changed. You're watching the final term, of course, on Sevens Big League. St Kilda 5-9-39. From the full-back position, the ball driven in by Boss. Big Flanagan's in front. No, he wasn't quite in front, because chipping in down there was young young Gary Johns, a player that Peter McKenna is rather fond of.
Well, it's his first game, and it's been a very good effort by Johns. He's been playing on Trevor Barker. Trevor lacking a bit of match fitness, of course. Has seen Keel on the left foot down towards the half-forward line. Out comes big John Mossop. Crashes his way through the pack. Still going. Neville Bruns comes in the Leatherhand. Caught with the ball, holding the ball, said the umpire, and the free kick will go to either Robert Mace or Silvio Pascini.
Bruns did the wrong thing there. Mossop was going toward goal. Bruns should never have chipped in to take that ball. Max Crowe takes a juggling mark. Now, the inconsistent kicking of Max Crowe has caused a lot of comment over the years. He's out about 55 metres. He is a good torpedo punt, but sometimes we're not too sure where they're going to go. This time it's gone straight through the centre. Crowe kicks his first goal. Geelong 14-12-96. St Kilda score changed to show 6 goals, 9-45 on Sevens Big League.
Lovely kick by Max Crowe. He's certainly a better kick further out from goal, I think, Jack. When he gets about 50 metres out, he's a good kick. He's done. Put him within 30 metres, you would never put your money on him in a million years.
Well, the bounce once again. St Kilda trailing Geelong. Geelong 96, St Kilda 45. Taken there by Fascini, just about thrown away. The umpire calls play on. Keel gets out. Hand pass to Tomei. Tomei hand passes to Smith. Smith should give it a knock, but he's too slow. Flanagan taps it out. Keel does the tackling. The ball kicked by Yates up to the half-forward zone. Morwood stood his ground, but didn't take the mark. Peake's hand pass comes back out to Williams. Williams tries to tap it to Turner. Turner plays on now. The left-footed Turner going in towards his full forward Jackson. And Jackson takes the mark.
Yeah, great lead. Great lead by Jackson. He should do that more often, I reckon. Instead of wrestling, he's a strong pair of hands. He can lead out in front. There was a tremendous pass by Michael Turner on the left foot. Mark Jackson has kicked 6 goals today against his former club. Pirri played a much better third quarter. He had a spell off the ground in the second quarter, Stephen Pirri. Jackson, 25 metres out, almost directly in front. Stabs at this one, a shocker. A real shocker, that one by Mark. He puts it out of bounds on the full.
That was an un-Jackson-like kick.
Yes, he's normally a very straight kick.
Morwood playing or trying to play on from the free kick, will not be allowed to do so. He has to go back and kick over the mark, which he does now. Out toward the outer side half-back flank area, where the good mark has been taken by big Darryl Cowie. Cowie giving the ball to Narkle. Narkle going short, finds Machini. Machini can see a few leads. He comes downfield toward the centre half-forward position. Ball thumped away. It's now a chance for Alfred.